You're sitting home alone on a Saturday night, and you hear a loud crash coming from the room next to you. You're startled and immediately begin to panic. You grab your cell phone, rush to your bedroom, and lock the door. What do? You can't call for help because the intruder, who's only a few feet away, will hear you speaking to the 911 operator. At that very moment, you think to yourself, I wish I could text 911 for help. I believe that the nearly 40-year-old 911 operating system should be updated to include the ability to text the 911 call centers. The 911 system was created in 1967 when AT&T, the American Telephone and Telegraph Company, and the FCC, Federal Communications Commission, came together to develop this system. With the new updates in technology and rapidly growing technology influence on our culture, this operating system needs to be brought into the 21st century. There are two telephone systems currently. The first, the public switch telephone network, and the second, the voice over internet protocol. The public switch telephone network has specific lines which people can call and communicate when receiving a call, and call waiting and caller ID are additional fees using this network, and usually they remain active during a power failure, but with this system, if you place a 911 call, your location is immediately traced. The newer system is the voice over internet protocol system. This has several channels of communication that are through the internet broadband connection, and call waiting and caller ID are guaranteed with this system. In the case of a power failure, the system is not as reliable and the calls will be lost. When dialing 911, the location is not always traced to the specific geographic location. However, some voice over internet protocol services don't even connect to the 911 system at all. Current problems with the 911 operating system are that the geographic locating capabilities are lacking. One specific example, as I'm sure you've heard many examples just like this, was in August 2008, Darlene Dukes was suffering from a heart attack when she called 911 from her cell phone. Her location was unclear to the dispatcher. The ambulances were sent to the wrong location, which ended up being 20 miles away from her home. If she had called from a landline, her location would have been tracked immediately. However, the paramedics arrived too late and she passed away. If text messaging was enabled, she would have been able to text her address quickly or anything of that sort of manner, and her life might have been saved. Another example is in 2005 when Hurricane Katrina hit and knocked out all the cell phone towers. There was no signal to hold a voice call, but text messaging could have still been used. And since no system was in place, there was no way for these victims to get in contact with any emergency services. Another problem is that the wireless phones are quickly surpassing landlines. The Center for Disease Control and Protection reported that in 2008, 20.2% of U.S. households do not use landlines and only use their cell phones. This number has increased 3% from 2007 and will only continue to rise. However, there's been a lot of progress in forming some sort of text messaging system. In 2004, the United States government authorized $1.25 billion to be used over the course of 5 years for research on a new text messaging system. The National Emergency Number Association estimated that it would cost between $3 billion and $6 billion to cover the 3,100 counties in the U.S. According to USA Today, call centers in New York, Montana, Indiana, and Washington began testing the next generation system in June of 2008. The goal of this system is to replace the old technology and change how the nation's 6,000 plus emergency call centers operate. On August 6, 2009, the first text message was sent to a 911 center in Black Hawk County, Iowa. Only a text in this county will be received by the 911 operating system, so if there's a neighboring any neighboring zip codes, they will not be received. So although it has flaws, it's still in the beginning stages and it has a promising future. There are many benefits when it comes to this system. It'll enable those who are hearing impaired or speech impaired to communicate with the 911 services. At this time, call center operators can only receive one call, but with text message, they'd be able to receive several messages simultaneously. And it'll help save lives by allowing those in emergency situations where silence is imperative to still call for help. Alan Hamilton works for the firm hired by the government to research and build this new system. He estimates the cost of the new generation system to be between $57 billion and $64 billion over a 20-year time span. Currently, the system that we have now costs $55 billion to $79 billion over that 20-year span. It'll either be the same cost or even more cost efficient. Linda Dodge, the public safety coordinator with the Department of Transportation's Intelligence, stated that communication devices and systems are advancing rapidly, and we need to be sure emergency communications are able to evolve at the same time. The implementation of a text messaging system would be extremely beneficial. For those who are unable to speak, whether they're hearing or speech impaired or hiding in a closet with an intruder right near them, they will be able to access the help that they need. The technology continues to advance, and the new generation youth adults are constantly texting and using their mobile phones. Our 911 services must change with the new technology. It is imperative for our future safety. Thank you.